So the fact that it's climbing up is now what people are alarmed about, right? Going back to the 90s, it was higher than that, but even just in the last 13 years, we were actually coming from like historic lows, right? That's the problem.
Uncle Ron put out a video or some content somewhere, and
Shout out
everybody,
to Uncle Ron.
people shout out to Uncle Ron, and they're talking about how mortgage arrears are jumping off the page, diving off a cliff. No, they're going up. Mortgage arrears are going through the roof, TK.
Yeah.
And it's not only Uncle Ron. There's a whole bunch of people talking about it. I mean, but the jump, although gigantic, is like from 0 to like 300, right? So not that that's not a giant jump or whatever the jump is. Okay, it's
I
like
get it. I get it. I get
the
it. We're still
number.
0.0
It's
something
yeah,
percent of
it's like
mortgages.
fucking
It's still,
nothing.
yeah, yeah,
Where's the tsunami, right? If like people are having an issue
yeah.
with the 200 and they're writing all these articles, like what happens when it's 2000? Will it get to that, TK? Or is this tsunami crisis gonna be averted because of the lower interest rates due to the tariff wars?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, is his answer. Thank you. Okay.
Oh,
Is
sorry.
that
Sorry.
all? Is that all you got? Yes.
Yes, the answer is yes.
Well,
But I think
appreciate
that
that. That's
I think that
helpful.
there's a lot of talk about this right now, and I mean it's scary. So like that's why it makes good news. And Uncle Ron's good content creator, so you guys
That's right.
obviously know that he's going to be putting stuff out there. Mortgage delinquency rates, Canada wide, Q2 2012.38, all the way to Q3 2024 went down to 0.2. So the fact that it's climbing up is now what people are alarmed about, right? Going back to the 90s, it was higher than that, but even just in the last 13 years, we were actually coming from like historic lows, right? That's the problem. Is that when you're coming from
Well,
historic
only because
lows?
of COVID, but like before that, like we're
Yeah,
lower than 2014 through to 2020,
exactly.
which
So you
is
don't.
like it's kind of crazy. So like why is that? Is it this is I'm going to call this one a nothing burger, TK. I'm going to say it
You're
cuz
gonna say it.
I'm going to say it for once,
Ouch. I want to
right?
see what
Because
what it was in the 90s.
the problem with the delinquency rates jumping is that you have a better chance of some dumb fuck on your street screwing up the numbers for the comps, right? The
Mm-hmm.
more of these desperate sons of bitches that, take a fire sale because they just absolutely have to because they were morons, and maybe not all of them were morons, but I think most of them were morons, TK. No? I mean, I know when
No,
I
they
got
made
fucked,
bad decisions.
yeah,
Yep.
because they're morons. So,
Yep.
so yeah, when I got caught by the market, I was an absolute moron. I turned into a genius, TK, years later from that experience. Okay.
Yeah.
But back then, I was a recluse moron. And do you know how many recluse morons there are out there in the real estate market, especially in Toronto, with fucking piles of money thinking that they could do anything? Do
Tell
you
me
like,
how many.
well, I don't know. Don't you meet them all? I don't know.
I wouldn't call them that. I
They're
mean, it's
all
just
over the place.
it's just the way it goes.
They
All right.
bought in
Mortgage
Bancroft,
mortgage
TK.
mortgage delinquency rates. All right. Up to in the 90s, you were up in like the point sixes, point sixes.
Point
So we're in
six of
like
a
the point
percent for
threes. So we're
Canada.
still half of yeah, yeah, yeah. We're still half of what it was. It'd have to double in order for it to get back to where we were, where there were power sales on like every street and all that kind of stuff. So, you know,
So we have a long way to go because there's only like 300. I don't know how many, if that's 300 in Canada, but that's such a tiny percentage that at the moment it doesn't take an effect. And so
yeah.
hold on a sec. So everybody's saying that unemployment, right, is a
Job they added
problem, and
jobs. They added jobs. They just
we
went from 6.7% down to 6.6
right? Like we
unemployment
added
rate.
76,000
Yeah,
jobs somehow.
they added jobs.
I don't, who's adding jobs? I have no idea. Apparently,
Probably the government again.
no, they lost jobs. The
They took
government
away
in
jobs. I
this
love
in
those
this
guys.
print, as us economists like to call it, TK.
I
In
love
the
it.
current print, TK, the government actually shed jobs in this last print. They shed jobs, TK,
Well done,
but
boys. Well done.
but the private sector,
Yep.
okay. Now it's a lot of it, TK, was part-time jobs, which I mean, when you're looking for a job, you'll accept a part-time job until you can find a full-time job, right? Nobody wants two part-time jobs
Or maybe you already have a full-time job and you just took on another job.
because you need to pay the
You need
bills.
the money.
Oh
Yeah.
no, right?
Because that's the other part too, is right. If you add all those part-time jobs up,
Right.
because there's guys, I see it all the time on social media. They're like, I'm working two full-time jobs right now. I'm working 60, 70 hours a week for two
Yeah.
different companies. This is how I'm doing it. And I got to hustle. Like,
Yeah.
so people are doing those type of things. So you can
And they
add
got
a
a
part-time
Shopify
job,
store.
but if
Yeah.
it's just going to a guy who's already got another job, the same amount of people who are lining up for food stamps are still there.
Right.
Yeah.
And does that guy count as two jobs in the fakakta stats that we
Yeah,
get?
of course it's got to.
Of
It's a
course,
job.
it's
It's
got
a
it.
job. It is what it is.
Are you looking for the best merch store on the planet? Well, we got the shit for you. Coming in at low prices where we barely make any money off of whatsoever, you can get the greatest real estate merchandise on this platform. Just look at this very flamboyant man putting on this great stuff. He looks great, he's dancing great, and boy does he look sexy in that merchandise. I tell you, buy this for anybody, you buy this for yourself. You will be not only repping the greatest Canadian real estate podcast in this world, but you will also be looking hella good doing it.